hopefully by the end of this morning
Okay.
out to everybody, and you will be, the commissioners will be included. That was part of the safety meeting discussion. Just another, hey, friendly reminder, please be at this meeting.
Okay.
So just to be clear, Mr. Hamilton is at 4 o'clock on Thursday.
Yes.
And Brentwood will be 3 p.m. on Friday.
Let me put that in there already, because I thought I had that in here. Yeah, I did. Got one on Thursday. Oh, I
Okay.
did it Friday.
That's all I have today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks, Kelly.
All right.
Okay, we saved you to last as you requested. Mr. Jaconis, if you would like to come up to us and.
Bringing us lunch?
Yeah.
We do have a 3-minute time limit, so.
Sarah, is the way it's on the agenda the way it was put in the packet?
I cannot confirm.
Okay.
I saw your email, sorry, I couldn't get to it.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. What do you have first for me? That'll.
Okay. We've got,
Administration, high potential
Okay,
employees.
so, all right, so we can go with that. So that's just a quick discussion that I wanted you to be aware of, that we created this policy because there is a section in there that talks about educational assistance, but that is not anything that we don't do already. It's conferences, it's classes, it's things like that. It's not, as much as I would love to have a tuition reimbursement thing, I know that's just never going to happen here. So we're beyond that. So, but that's all that is just to let you know. And basically what the policy is we have very good employees who want to do other things within our organization, or potentially, like the last one we had, leave to be a deputy director elsewhere. And so we've been doing this for years, but I didn't know there was like a industry buzzword for it. And we just wanted to get it in writing. That way everybody has a fair shot at benefiting from the way we mentor our people to be better. So
Is that something that would go in your own personnel handbook for 911 center?
yeah, it's our policy, yeah. So it goes along with all of our other policies that we have.
Do we need to vote on
I
that
don't-
for them, or
Yeah.
just
It's more
giving
just
them an
a-
acknowledgement?
Yeah, just an informational thing. Like I said, it's more about that one section that talks about educational assistance, just so if you ever do see it, you don't just go, oh my, wait, what are we doing? So, but again, it's stuff we're already doing for conferences, classes, certifications, things like that.
It almost sounds like part of a performance evaluation review as well.
Yes, yep, so.
and we wouldn't reimburse them for extra school or whatever that they need to do.
The county does not have a tuition
Don't have a
reimbursement,
tuition
but we,
reimbursement program.
yeah, we do things, like, I know there's at least 4 of us that are signed up for an online training thing every year for business classes. But they're short things. They're either a day long or 5 minutes long, depending on what we're doing. We may come back for some other things at some point in time if again, it's these things that if you see it, you go, what does this have to do with 911? But as we all know, this is one big business. And so we want to make sure that our people are prepared for the business end as well as the operations end. So.
They do get reimbursed for their state training and things like
Okay,
that. So
all right.
Oh, yeah, everything. And the nice thing is the state of Indiana, without the 911 board paying for a lot of our certifications and stuff, we'd be in for like 10, 12 grand a year every year. So the state 911 board picks up those expenses for us.
For us and what, everybody? all
Everybody
other
in the state,
911
yeah.
centers. Wow.
Which is crazy that there's counties in the state that don't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. So, okay. What do we have next on
Power
here?
DMS, NeoGov.
So that is, the Sheriff's Department and the 911 Center have used Power DMS for a number of years for our policies and procedures. And because of how they do their product, we would prefer to stay with it. We've actually gone down on the number of licenses that we actually need now, and so we've dropped it to that 175 to 199. The sheriff pays his portion of it, I pay my portion of it. My portion is a little bit smaller because I only have 31-ish employees. And so we just need that signed off on to get back to them. Since we are dropping the number of people, they need it 90 days in advance. And I believe we re-up with them in August. So I just wanted to get it done with.
This is a program.
Yeah, we've been using this program for,
It's a subscription renewal, right? And
Correct.
we just changed some things on it because there's not
Yeah,
not
we
as
just-
many users on
correct, yeah. Yeah, originally we had looked at this for the whole county, but now with the other one that you guys are, the HR one that Kelly's looking at, I can't remember.
Does this come from our contractual, or does it come from, where
Ours,
is it? It's
myself
coming
and the
from
sheriff.
911 contractual.
Yeah, for myself, it comes from my 911 lit, I'm not sure where the sheriff pays.
And along with the sheriff paying his.
Correct,
portion.
yeah, I don't know where he pays it out of. so.
We need a motion to do this, don't we?
We do.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and everybody's okay with it?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to continue our subscriptions to Power DMS for the 911 center, and to be paid for out of the 911 lit account. And you say that's 10,000?
Well, that'll be split between the sheriff's department and us, so the total. yeah.
$10,659.90 to be split between 911 and the sheriff's office as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the Power DMS invoice for professional subscription renewal in an amount not to exceed $10,659.90 to be paid for out of the 911 lit fund and a fund determined by the sheriff as well, as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Which one's next, Janine?
AT&T.
AT&T, so this is for 2 additional, what they call command post phones, and these are interesting things. We already have 4 of these. 2 of them we purchased a few years back to use as actual dispatch consoles, but now that we've replaced the entire system, those have been pulled off. And then they gave us, the 2 more came with our contract that we just did, and then we want to add 2 more. Basically, what these do is 4 of them will go to our backup center to be used when and if we ever need that. The other 2 will become remote units where I could literally take one of those home, or more than likely Greg will take one of those home. And if we have a surge in phone calls, he can log right in and start taking 10-digit phone calls. So to relieve some of the activity coming into the room. These have got more expensive over the years. We of course, like everything else, when we bought our first 2, they were nowhere close to this price. But I did have this as a part of our phone system. It wasn't actually budgeted when we did the bond, but I knew that we wanted them, and I had originally budgeted about $80,000 for that, and this came in a little bit lower. I would have liked to get 3 instead of 2, but
Is this like a cell phone?
no.
Some type of
Oh
cell-
no,
what
this
does
is
it look like?
This is
Just
it's
for
a laptop.
curiosity.
It's a laptop computer. It's crazy because of the fact that if they are looking at it, it looks exactly like what we have sitting at the 911 console.
It's just a laptop.
Yep, and it works off of Wi-Fi or SIM cards.
And this is actually a 911 station?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah,
Portable station?
yeah.
Yes.
No, yep.
Portable, yeah.
Where would we?
Yeah, if you just want to call it a command post, then
Is that come out of your budget?
911 bond.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Make a motion that we approve the 911 center to go ahead with his 2 additional 911 stations. One to be a portable one, as presented, for the amount of $73,600.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We allow the 911 Director, John Jaconis, to purchase 2 additional portable 911
Stations.
stations in an amount not to exceed $73,600 to be paid for out of the 911 Center's bond. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
What next, Janine?
Olympus cabinet sales.
Okay.
This is another 911 project that was part of the original 911 bond, and that is to redo the cabinetry on the EMA EOC side. This is the same vendor that just did our kitchen on the 911 side. We were more than excited to work with them again because they did such a fantastic job on the last one. And it basically is just updating that kitchen it'll include a new sink. We already got them the new refrigerator and we paid for the new microwave, but they'll mount that new microwave as well over there. But this is strictly for the cabinets at this point in time. That's all they don't need to do anything else with that kitchen except just replace all the cabinetry
And
and the
it's
sink.
got the countertops, hardware.
And what budget?
That'll come out of the 911 bond as well.
Okay. That one?
I move that we accept the Olympus Cabinet Sales Company, Inc. for the refurbishment of the E911 call center, materials including kitchen cabinets, granite countertops, hardware, labor, with a grand total not to exceed $13,958 with a 50% deposit on the first draw of $6,979.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the proposal from Olympus Cabinet Sales for updates in the kitchen at the 911 Center as presented by John Jaconis and read out by Commissioner Gray in an amount not to exceed $13,958, and that there be a 50% deposit, first draw of $6,979 made when work commences. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Next, we have quote 9157 from Nelson Alarm Equipment Sales Agreement.
Okay, hang on, let me find that one.
9157.
Does it give an address on that one, on the top of it? Is that,
Hancock County Community Corrections.
okay, so that's, let me find that one here too.
So we're talking about community corrections
Yep,
right now.
123 East Main, yep.
Okay.
Hang on a minute.
It says it's valid till 3/13.
Yeah,
Is
they'll,
it?
we'll be good.
And which one was that again?
It's,
Quote 9157 for community corrections.
9157.
so this was a request from Corey. Part of this was a request from Corey to put cameras in the basement where they're storing all of the construction stuff. The second portion of this is to replace the recorder, the NVR. It's expensive because there's going to be a lot going through. As we expand that remodel at that building, there's going to be more and more cameras going up, specifically on the exterior of the building. And so I'd like to get that server, because one of those over there is completely crashed. Those were still over there from years ago. The other one is on its last leg, and I'd just rather get it replaced. And then as we add cameras, we already have the space to add all those cameras.
I'm going to ask, does this recorder have the expansion capability that nobody will be coming back here for a while saying, hey, we need a new?
We better not.
I don't like that answer.
So, I don't know, that'll depend on your plans for that building, so.
And as I'm looking through this, it has a subtotal of $30,741 with added labor of $3680.
Correct.
But the total is $34,421. That doesn't
That
add
doesn't
up
add
for
up.
me.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it does. Never mind.
okay.
I had a little dyslexia kick in there.
It's Monday, you're not supposed to think until Tuesday, so,
I'm forgiven.
no. Did my face go completely red or completely?
No, it went white.
No, at least it didn't go green, but it could have went green.
I mean,
good one.
I am
Usually
so
doesn't make number
sorry,
mistakes.
and I am
911
just
bond?
embarrassed.
No, this would be out
This
of
would be
Oh,
out
this-
of
oh,
the
it's
2020
123 East Main,
It would be
okay.
the 2021 GEO bond.
2021.
Because that's the 123 East Main bond.
I make a motion that we approve quote number 9157 for the electronic equipment, cameras and brackets and pendant and labor and all that, total amount $34,421 for the 123 East Main.
Second,
Be paid out of 2021 GEO bond. Got it all.
Yes.
2021 GEO bond?
Yes.
Yes. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the equipment sales agreement between Nelson Alarm and Hancock County for the Hancock County Community Corrections at 123 East Main. For server, camera, pennant cap cameras, miscellaneous camera items in an amount not to exceed $34,421 to be paid for out of the 2021 GEO bond. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And just as a side note to that, any equipment that we do install, cameras and whatnot, when the basement goes under any kind of renovation, those will be reused as part of that renovation as well.
Good answer, John.
Yeah, I forgot about that portion of it, so. Because we have that in a few spots where where we put stuff in, knowing that it was gonna have to be moved, so. So anyway, what do you got next?
Next, we have quote 9269 for the Hancock County Annex from Nelson Alarm.
Okay. So this is optional, and it'll depend on what the county commissioners want to do. I know this is, again, something that Corey is interested in. This is to put door readers on the cages in the basement. We already have one on the election cage for Marcia Moore had done that, got asked for that one in the past. And this is to make it a little bit easier for, in case there's an emergency in those cages, we don't have to cut the locks. That we can then limit access to those cages as necessary. If we lose, there's no more worry about keys or anything like that. It just swipe in, and it gives us a little bit better control over who's going in and out of those cages as well. So it's going to be up to you. I'm not asking you to make a decision today, but this was something, again, that Corey came to me and asked about. And we had talked about it several years ago, and we never did it at that point, so.
My personal opinion is let's do it all at the same time and just,
I would think so.
this amount is what, $21,000?
Yeah.
Which adds up for me.
And I was going to ask the auditor
Yeah.
how she felt potentially about that too. Would that make it easier on you to have a card access reader down there on where your information's stored?
I think it would to get in and out of cages. So that,
Plus,
they have to come to me to get a key to get in there. Had a leak the other day, and they saw it, so they came. Probably handled that a little bit quicker. I would just say you might want to talk to. I know, her son doesn't store it, but there are different people that have highly confidential stuff that they may not want to just have an access to, but probably would have helped keep some dry.
I can put that out.
so
Table it?
Yeah,
Table it?
agreed. Yeah.
while it sounds like a great idea, right, can we hold on that? And then Sarah, could you send an email to all the officials that have cages down there, storage, and ask them for their input on what they would like, if they would like that, not like that, any issues we've not probably seen, and
Access is that science. I don't know.
And the thing that nobody with the exception of the department heads will, because we set the access on our end. There's only a few of us that have the rights to do that. And like maintenance they wouldn't have access to that door. We would actually be able to pop that door from our place and then let them in. So the goal is to, each department head, just like we've been working through right now, is cleaning up the door access levels. Each department head would give me a list of people who need access to that cage. Those would be the only people that would receive access to that cage. Again, we try to eliminate keys. So just, you know, in the event somebody walks off with a key, we don't have that to worry about any longer. But then if there is an emergency, we're going to be the ones that are releasing that door, and nobody is going to have access unless it's been approved by a department head.
So noted that we'll table it.
Perfect.
Next, we have quote 9271 for the Hancock County Annex.
And this will be the new IT offices. This is, again, a move towards eliminating handing out keys to our offices. And this would put new door access on all of the doors that are going on, that are being currently built downstairs. And then there's a couple cameras that are being moved. I think that's in the thing. And then also, Meyer Nasium is working with our key person now, Amber, to make sure we have the right cores going into those doors as well. We just had an email about that this morning between Meyer Nasium and Dormicaba. So
I would make a motion that we accept quote 9271 from Nelson Alarm for cameras, controllers, power, readers, strikers, door card, wire, and battery for the IT department at the Hancock County Annex, not to exceed a total amount of $24,860. Scope of work is listed within.
22 BGO bond paid out of
2022
2022.
B Geo bond.
Second.
Second, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my next one.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the equipment sales agreement with the Nelson Alarm for 111 American Legion Place, the annex basement, IT offices, for controller, power supply, reader, striker, door card, wire, battery, as presented on the face of the document, in an amount not to exceed $24,865 to be paid for out of the 2022 BGO bond. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Next, we have devices.
okay, yep. And that's again that's just a discussion. When Stryker sent when we left the budget committee meeting, the thought was for 12 of them. When Stryker, I asked for 3 different quotes from them so we could start to look and figure out what we wanted to do. Quote number 1 was us purchasing 12 and then paying for maintenance on all 12. And that was not part of what we talked about, but I wanted to see the number on it. It was like $307,000. The second quote was the 12 devices with 7 of those having 8 years of maintenance on it, and that came in at $282,000. The third quote was for a 13th device, which would be a certified pre-owned refurbished unit. And surprising, the one was $272. The other one for 13 was $282. $10,000 difference, which means that in basically the 8-year maintenance for each of those devices comes out to be about $8,000. So essentially, they're throwing that 13th device in. And so I wanted to bring this to you. Again, this is not something that needs to be done because it was recommended to come out of the 2025 GEO bond. But I wanted to bring it to you because I think this is the right way to go with the 13th device, because they're essentially, again, giving it to us. So we just have to pay maintenance on it. So I wanted to bring that up. When we get to the point, I believe when he did this, I believe when Zach did this, he put I asked him to give us until July on that quote. I believe he did that, but let me make sure here on that. I think I attached the wrong quote.
But this is discussion only.
Correct, yeah. Discussion only, no action. Once I find the right quote, because I think I may have attached the wrong quote to our email. Nope, I did, yeah.
John, when we execute this, we'll execute it, I'm assuming, in the same fashion we did the radios with certificate of liability insurance and an MOU.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yep, and
Okay.
then we'll have also for the career departments, we'll get the same type of letter that we did with Sugar Creek for the computer, where it will be, congratulations, here's your new device, maintain it, take care of it, which they do, but you're welcome. So,
Well, in my opinion, it makes sense to have an additional on standby, whether it's for the other agencies, if they have maintenance, routine maintenance, they can get their device maintained and you can give them
yep,
the standby. I don't know if this would ever happen, but let's say if one of those devices has to be seized as an evidentiary for some kind of case, then all of a sudden
That's-
you've got a spare that you can say,
Yep.
oh, here you go.
that was not something that was brought up, but that's really good too. The other thing that RJ over at Greenfield brought up was the fact that we could have it on standby literally at Riley Days or the county fair to where we don't have to take one out of service and it's right there.
And you don't have to be certified.
You don't have to be certified, no.
I wondered, and this was after the fact, if
Yeah.
we shouldn't have one at the sheriff's department.
There's one
Oh, there
going in
is
the jail.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's one for the jail. Yep.
One step ahead of
Yeah.
us, that all the time.
Well, the sheriff was. I won't take credit for that one, so. But yeah, and that will be housed at our place or potentially in one of our vehicles, just in case, like I said, if Charlottesville all of a sudden says, hey, we just tested this and it's not working, we can immediately run it out there and then get theirs to get it to Stryker to get fixed and then get the loaner. Because it takes about 24 to 48 hours to get the loaner from Stryker. So we just don't want to have one of those situations where it's just not available. So, and for that price, I mean,
Take advantage of it while we can.
yep.
Last thing we have is Nine Star Connect.
Yep. And this is to get the Purdue Extension Office for video and door access activated. That project, all the equipment's installed to my knowledge, and this is that last portion that does that. And because we never had, because that building is really on the Purdue network, the only thing we had over there was just for voice. And so what we had over there just cannot handle, it can't handle the cameras, specifically the video portion of it. And so this one gets paid out of one of Bernie's line items, and that's out of the general fund. It's line 32400, and it's just telephones, or telephone service.
And this is just asking for approval on the monthly recurring cost.
Correct, yes, to come out of that.
And then the non-recurring installation is $250?
Yep.
And the monthly recurring is $201.50?
Correct.
I would make a motion that we approve the application agreement for services from Nine Star Connect for single mode TLS connection, along with the monthly recurring cost. Non-recurring installation cost would be $250 and a monthly recurring cost of $201.50
To be
to be paid out of the phone line from the ID department, line 32400.
second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the agreement for services with Nine Star Connect. This is for Purdue Extension Office. For Transparent Land Service Internet, service connection charges, non-recurring charge is $250. The monthly recurring cost is $201.50. to be paid out of the general fund number 32400 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
The Purdue Extension?
Is it their budget, it's not IT's budget?
Oh, no, it's Bernie's budget.
Okay.
It's Bernie, yeah, it's general, it's just telephone is what that tie, it's.
Yeah, no, I know,
Yeah.
it's the general fund and the
Yeah.
account number, I just didn't know the location.
Oh, gotcha, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha. And then I have one question because something came up. Susan from the Sheriff's Department called me. The auditor's office sent over a bill for Right Stuff. We were both under, the sheriff and I were both under the impression that when the county took that over, that the county was going to pay that whole bill, including ours.
Okay, so the girls brought that to me
Okay.
because last year, we had a portion and they each paid a portion. So they brought that to me, so I said, hey, let's reach out and see
Okay.
if they put that in their budget. Because if you had it in your budget, we wanted to pay it out of it.
Yeah, I did not include it in my budget this year because that was the impression that I was under, and I believe that's the impression that the sheriff was under as well, that it would be.
I felt like you, since you already had that in your budget, you guys were gonna continue paying for it, but
Well, that'll be.
I don't know.
I was gonna say,
I don't know.
that'll be up to 3 other people, so that's, if.
It is, I mean, and that's definitely something that probably this
Yeah.
fall, I don't know, you may want to, you and the sheriff both, I know you like the Right Stuff and you want to probably continue on using it. So, we're probably gonna be making a change, on our end.
Okay.
So it might be something that about.
We still need to have the talk with the president of Right Stuff to have them do what they said they could accomplish.
Yeah.
I know you would appreciate,
Well,
working with
it is
potentially
time
somebody
and
else.
keeping, and
Yep.
part of our payroll department, so it's definitely,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that works better for us, then okay, but, if it's something that doesn't do what we need it to do as far as 24-hour scheduling,
that's
then,
and that's
yeah,
the problem, not all
Yeah.
departments are the same,
correct, yeah.
as much as we would like for them to.
Yeah. We can do a lot of the same things,
We
but,
can do a lot.
anything for me? I think we got out of there in less
I
than.
did have one question.
Yeah.
When in the past, we've had some confusion when people say 911 bond. So earlier,
Yes.
we're talking about paying some of these items out of the 911 bond. We're talking about 2022A, correct?
Let me, hang on, I can tell you which number or fund it is, or which, I'm sorry, yeah, which, give me one second here.
That would be the
Yeah, it should be 4629. That's what the fund number is, 4629 on that. Because that's what we have listed as the 9.
4629. That is
Yep.
that's the 2022A. Thank
Okay,
you.
yep. Anything else?
It wasn't as painful as I guess we thought it was going to be.
I just saw that $240,000 there. That's, whoa.
Efficiency. So I appreciate you allowing me to do that many items at once.
I will ask you this since you brought it up, and you said that the Re-King project is going along. The lady involved in that was working with Myron Agem. Any other updates with Re-King or?
We're doing a full walkthrough with Dormacaba just to verify that everything we have is correct. I think, I don't remember if it's tomorrow or Thursday, or it could, tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know. We've got a ton of stuff on our calendars this week, so, but Ashley is gonna be doing that walk around with them. She's gonna be taking that project on, and then with assistance from Corey, Greg, and myself. So, but yeah, that should be kicking off, like I said, in the next day or so, where they're doing that full walk around. So, and then, because that, we just want to get it done, so.
Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We're not done yet.
Reference right stuff, we did have that worked into our budget. So, find the claim ready to go, just
Thank you.
But Corey, Taylor, hey, I want you to come here and right behind me and take a look at the clock and tell me, just give me your thoughts on it.
So that thing, we had a terrible time adjusting it.
I think it reads great. There's a glare on there.
Yeah, there's a
We just-
glare.
John, move over to the left.
All right, I'll fix it.
Okay. Okay. No, we appreciate it.
Just sand off those drawings.
Oh,
These
I've
were
got-
for the highway. Oh, did you already get it?
I've got
No,
those hard
perfect,
copies, so I'm
perfect.
going to sign off on those
Perfect.
here before we go.
Okay?
Commissioners, any other thing that you, no?
I have
Any
Yeah, what's going to say?
any public comment? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn our meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Well
And
done.
did you guys sign the? I know Bill signed them early.
We all signed them. Here's what was left over.
Thank you.
That
Left it over?
that worked out a lot better today.
That did.
Instead of trying to go through mine and,
It did. It did. It made
You know,
it, made it work well.
one thing, did you guys read the bid or you just didn't, you just
we
said you
just accepted it.
Accepted it in. So what we were probably going to do is get a hold of Zerbach Consultants and have them review it. Plus, we wanted to ask the sheriff how Garmong has done